is ayawanan or kabili and translates as inheritance in English. In this tedious and laborious journey, for us, the indigenous people, education is truly ayawanan that we can pursue. Every graduate has been through a lot, as this journey encompasses diverse, meaningful, and worthy life stories to tell. When I was young, I did not view education as deeply as I value it today. I can say my understanding of the value of education was shallow. However, my parents' incessant reminder and teaching led me to be convinced on embracing education like a prize, a trophy, or a weapon against inequality, poverty, and discrimination. I can still vividly recall how my parents tried their best to convince me to go to school. Mao nga ang ganang tanido pikagka, usa ka taga-Paulo nga panday, o si Ansernita, usa ka babae taga-Paulo, sila ang hinungdan nga ang ilang anak karon, nga si Francis Asis Cabca, nakahuman sa kolehiyo. Matod nila, dangagyan nami ang makatapos ka o dumog na kung makatapos ka. But in reality, it is my pride and honor to earn this degree amid the intersecting vulnerabilities that our family had been through. We are poor, but our faith in Tagalog is overflowing. This ayawanan is like a treasure, a prized possession that brings life-changing perspectives, transcending beyond what I can just imagine. My father's death from colon cancer in 2014 made our lives more difficult. My widowed mother encouraged me to strive and excel in my studies. She supported us, and I was amazed at how she managed to provide for our needs. I believe that behind every great person is a woman. Although I still do not consider myself to be great, but this success is founded on the love, support, care, and dedication of my mother. Through her, I found my purpose in life, to be free from the bondage of poverty and become instrumental in the welfare of others. My domestic life was my inspiration when I chose Bachelor of Science in Development Communication. Being part of the pioneer batch, development communication was a key to an overview deck that made me see the realities in our communities, especially those from the periphery. The program made me understand multiple and constant inequalities in the society and the things that I can do to help my fellow indigenous people and fellow Filipinos. A development communicator is an ally of the poor and the marginalized. Development communication is both a process and a perspective. We are taught that we need to be the actors who protect and serve those who are marginalized and deprived of information. No wonder that information has been added as one of the basic needs. Information through communication can save lives, develop communities, and empower people. Development communication is like a boat, and we paddle as one for the fulfillment of true development that honors human rights. Developing communication is greatly needed as we navigate through the myriad of social injustices, inequality, underrepresentation, deprivation of information, or disinformation. An informed community is a strong community. When we know our rights, we can assert and demand for better services from our leaders and those who promise us a bright future, a better society. Yet, when people know less, abuses, corruption, and injustices prevail. As someone who came from a cultural community, I am one with my fellow Tagapaulos in fighting for our bundles of rights. As an IPU who has achieved this ayawanan, I equate this with victory. Victory for me and my cultural community. My dear fellow Indigenous youth, you are instrumental in building a sustainable future. Let us keep the fire burning with a purpose to contribute to social change. 80% of Spanish population belongs to the indigenous cultural communities. The development communication curriculum is indeed a bedrock in unlocking my potential. It paved my way to go beyond as a student and be of service to the poorest of the poor. Today, I cannot contain my joy in witnessing my fellow Indigenous youth as graduates and finishers of this long and winding journey. This may sound idealistic, but I pray that we can go back to our cultural communities and pursue a genuine, participatory, and sustainable development. Before we achieve this degree, we had a series of trials and detours. The earthquakes and the pandemic literally shook the foundation of our education. The COVID-19 pandemic intensely exacerbated our hardships. The transition to distance learning made our struggles seem unbearable, especially with the poor and expensive internet connectivity. These challenges highlighted the gaps between the rich and the poor. And between the gaps, I wondered that sa matag katalagman, luoy yun ang pobre. But poverty is not only a material thing, but poverty is also a mentality. I know that my family is poor, but I know also that I can enrich my wisdom, my passion, and my perseverance through learning everything I can. With the guidance and dauntless acts of our instructors, professors, and our school administration, we stood still. I thought that the greatest obstacle was the pandemic. But life gave my family another sudden and roaring challenge that was an unfriendly nightmare I never wish to meet again. Last March, my mother was diagnosed with a liver disease. The difficulty was indescribable. I thought mother would not be able to make it to this day. I was distracted by her pain and suffering, and our financial situation got worse. We had nothing to sell. We did not have money for her hospitalization. All I had was faith, and truly, God's grace and mercy is sufficient. Through the mighty hand of the genuine people around us, and to whom I am forever grateful, she recovered. And there she is, my Mama Asita is joining me now to take the next chapter of our lives. Let us not forget those who dream with us and remain by our side. All of these accolades and recognitions are not mine. I offer this to Chimano, our Almighty, glorious, and all-knowing God. Salamat po, Chimano. To our parents and loved ones who supported us, sacrificed all the way through our journey, and joined us in the creation of our remarkable stories. They deserve our heartfelt gratitude. Salamat sa edukasyon, salamat sa ayawanan ngayon. Sa akong papa ug mama nga mao'y nagpanday sa akong kaugmaon, ang yalo nga pag-ingundang og salamat diniigo aron ipahayag ang akong dakong pagpasalamat sa inyong pagkamot, gugma o pag-aruga nga mao'y nagdala ka na ako karon diri. Ingon man sa ubang miyembro sa akong pamilya o komunidad, salamat po o kamayo. To the Magita Power Incorporated for the opportunity to become one of your SMCGP Foundation Scholars under the Tulong-Dulong Educational Support for Indigenous People under the supervision of Sir Leonante A. Capiloyan. Salamat po. To our dear Southern Philippines Agribusiness and Marine and Aquatic School of Technology, salamat po for all the learning and values that you instilled in us. Indeed, SPAMAS is our light, our beacon in this journey. To the Institute of Human Service, led by our OIC Dean, Julian U. Deseo, for the constant support in transforming the learners to become professionals, grounded in excellence, resilience, and values. Salamat po. To the Bachelor of Science in Development Communication Program, actively headed by our program head, Professor Elizabeth Joy Serrano Quijano, and to our development communication instructors, we will never forget what you taught us. Without application, what we learn in development communication are only mere concepts. To Professor Elizabeth Joy Serrano Quijano, ma'am, who pioneered this program, who shaped us from the very first day. She is instrumental and inspirational in the way we view development and why we should stand for our rights. As a Blaan herself, she wanted to see us free from poverty and break the unjust social barriers in building a sustainably developed community. Ma'am Joy taught us that communication is a major element in making development attainable. Salamat po, Ma'am Joy. Indeed, your name, Joy, is what we are feeling today. To my classmates and fellow development communicators, thank you for the friendship, faith, and solidarity. I wish you all the best as we embark on our individual endeavors. My fellow graduates, may we take on the challenge to become worthy of our diplomas. Let us make Davao Occidental and in the Philippines a better place to live for the next generation. May our morals and values never dwindle in the face of trial and temptation. May we remain steadfast. To our Honorable Commissioner, Dr. Audrey A. Darinag, and Regional Director, Dr. Maricar R. Casquejo, may you continue to lead SPAMAS as we are set to choose our next president. May you stand with the whole SPAMAS community for its development and growth. Sa ating tanan, may we edge in our hearts. Development is attainable through excellence, people-centeredness, and values. This is your Taga Paulo graduate, Francis Asis Capca, wishing all of us the best and Chumalam's favor. Congratulations to all of us.